he's pissed off with the rebellious, stiff-hearted people, with you Negro, Latino, and Native American kids, because the Lord said that judgment shall begin at the house of God, man. All right. Continue on in Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. That's right. So the Lord ain't gonna acquit the wicked. The word acquit means to be basically exempt. Okay. It's like they have it in the court system. He was acquitted of all charges. All right. The scriptures say that the wages of sin is death. So the Lord said in Nahum 1 and 3, the Lord Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. That's right. So all those that are wicked, that live unrighteously, all right, that are not set to receive salvation, you're going to be destroyed, man. You're going to receive that judgment, all right, on the earth, as you did in your past lives through your children. Okay. It says, he rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. And that's what's happening throughout the whole earth, man. This ain't no coincidence. Okay? It's all through prophecy. That there's the rivers are drying up. Now recently you just had this big ice storm, snowstorm that hit the East Coast. And it took in a very long time. It was like a record-breaking winter storm for the whole United States. That's all at one time. It had several states that were in low, very low weather. Real cold weather. So it says, Bashan languisheth, and Carmel and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. That's right. You got all these plants and birds, animals dying out here, man, because of the weather patterns. It says, the mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence. Yea, the world and all that dwell therein. That's right. And the world and all that dwell therein are in great horror, man. Right now, these people are they still got a lot of pride on them. So they ain't being moved in that horror. They're not being moved in the fear of the Lord. You got a question?
Are you taping something for someone?
Am I taping something for someone?
I saw you're taping, and is there a purpose for you taping stuff?
Yeah, to edify my brothers on the internet.
Oh, you're on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wondering what you were doing.
Yeah, I'm pushing His word, preaching the gospel of the Most High and His Son, who the world ignorantly calls God. Right? You call God the one.
I have Christ Jesus.
Okay, well
in
that
my
too.
life. I have the Son of God living in me, and God has a plan and a purpose. And I've seen you guys out here talking, and I didn't know if you were just talking to the air or
Well, what did the Lord tell Ezekiel in the book of the Valley of Dry Bones? What did He tell him?
To rise up and talk to the dead bones, so the bones.
Who are the dead? Do you know who the dead bones
Israelites.
represent? Okay, these people right here.
Yeah.
This is who I'm preaching to.
Yeah, the Israelites. But you know what?
Well, hang on, look. Because you're trying to come up and preach, I'm letting you know.
No, I'm not preaching you. I don't need to preach
All right.
to you.
That's right.
The Lord lives in you, and the Lord lives in me, and we're brothers and sisters in Christ.
I don't believe in that word Christ, because that word Christ comes back from the Greek word Christos. Do your research. Serapis Christos, we didn't worship Him.
Christ is the Spirit. Those that have Christ have the Spirit of Christ.
See, you're being out of order.
So you're preaching out of yourself and not of Christ.
I'm preaching out of the Word. You're preaching out of your own heart. Yeah. Where's your Bible at?
My Bible's in the car.
Bring it out and come back over here, and we can go to war. Okay, it's not about war. It's about contending. It's about contending about the faith.
You see the type of spirit you
Yeah, the Spirit is the Spirit of the Lord. That's what it is.
The Spirit of the world.
No, I don't. I'm not in the world. You're going back into the world right now. I'm out here doing the work for the Lord.
He that lives in me is greater than he that lives in the world.
And you live in the world.
Jesus Christ.
That's not His name.
That lives in us.
That's not His name. I ain't worried about those people. That's not His name.
These people have the Spirit of
That's
Christ.
not His name.
No, Jesus
That's not His name.
Jesus
Prove it that's His name.
Jesus Christ. That's the American name.
Prove it to me that His name is Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Prove it to me that His name is Jesus.
Prove it to me.
Prove it to me. Okay, I can prove it to you. The name Jesus comes back from the Greek word Jesus. He was not a Greek. He was a Hebrew Israelite.
You're here to argue.
He was a Hebrew Israelite. I'm here to contend for the faith.
Argue.
I'm here to contend. Look up the word contend. No, you're out of order. All right? The valley of dry bones, Ezekiel was out to speak to his people, the Israelites. The valley of dry bones were the people that didn't know who they were anymore. That's who Ezekiel went to go preach to, man. All right? It said, Ezekiel 37. I'm going to start at verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord, come from the four winds of O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. That's right, because our people had lost their knowledge of who they were, man. Okay, they've lost everything that they knew about the truth, man. About their power, what his name was, what he looked like, what tribe, prospective tribe they came from. They lost all that, man. They lost all knowledge of what the Bible talks about. He had this woman come up here talking about, oh, I thought you're just preaching out to the wind. What is that video? Why are you recording this? Why are you recording this? And I over here trying to tell her, hey, man, she's already trying to preach, saying I'm in Christ, this, that, and the third. Her spirit was being real proud already. And I tried to tell her, hey, let me show you real quick. She was already smiling. I already could tell that through the spirit. She already had that damn old-time doctrine of Christianity on her. When I was ready to preach to her, give it that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and meekness, man. But she didn't like the fact that I was going to get into the scriptures, trying to use that I'm in the world. I'm not even in the world. I'm out here preaching. What makes me in the world and you not? You know? Greater is he who's in me than he's in the world. You don't even understand what that's about, man. You don't know who's in the world. The one that governs the world is Esau. These damn demons out here, man. Greater is he in me. You don't know who's even inside of you, man. You're calling on Jesus. Jesus is not his name, man. We've proven that. We proved that so many times. She couldn't even prove that his name wasn't that his name is not Jesus. And she asked me, and I proved it to her. It comes back from the Greek word Jesus, which is a Greek word. The transliteration to the name that we have today is Jesus, man. Which really wasn't even Jesus. It was I-E-S-U-S. Before there was even the letter J. So she's over here telling me that I'm not even preaching out of the word. What am I doing with the Bible then if I wasn't preaching out of the word? She comes over here not even having her own sword, saying I'm here to argue. I ain't here to argue. I'm here to preach. I'm here to contend for the faith. And anybody that tries to rise up against the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that's what's going to come out, man. You're supposed to contend for the faith, the gospel, man. You're supposed to be passionate for your art, whatever it is that you have going on for yourself. You're supposed to be passionate. You know? A woman, she's with that damn spirit, man. She don't know her lane, man, her spot. You know? That's why the Lord's going to come back and destroy a lot of people, man. A lot of you women are going to die here in America, man. You got to know your spot, man, and know when to shut down. You know? And women, it's not even your job to be going to war with the man, just going back and forth with the man. You're supposed to, if you want to ask a question, you ask it in meekness and quietness, and that's it, and you go on your way. You don't sit here and try to tell that man he's going off for whether he's in the wrong or not. You're supposed to just know your lane and get the hell out of the way, because you don't know what can happen, man. But you got a lot of people out here today, man. These women think they have all this liberty. They got all this damn power over a man. You ain't got no power over a man, man. Just right now you do, because Esau backs you up. And not only that, the Lord allowed that to happen, man. Okay? But that's right. I was speaking into the wind. I was speaking to the brothers, the one that are going to receive this message. That's who I'm attending to, the flock. And you got these carnal people out here that think, oh, because he's one man, the Lord ain't dealing with him. The Lord don't deal in great numbers, man. I'm out here being bold as a lion by myself. I don't need 10 people with me to stand up against the whole nation, because I got the Lord on my back, man. Just like Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Elijah, Elisha. They were all men by themselves, and they stood up bold against the enemy, man. Did you not know if you kill me, I'll be in a better place? If I were to die right now, you think you're going to destroy me and I'm going to be sad? No, I'm going to be in a better place. Right now that I live, I'm in hell right now, man. In the land of America that are now captivity. What you think you people I'm afraid of, man? No more you got us entangled, ensnared in our minds no more, man. You Edomites, you demonic spirits that are out here. No more do you have us entangled and ensnared in our spirit anymore, man. We know the truth. The Negro Latinos and Native American Indians are waking up to the true nationality, and we're knowing who we are, man. We know who we are. So it says in Ezekiel 37:10, so I prophesied, and he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. That's right, and we have an exceeding great army that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is resurrected, man. The spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. You got brothers all throughout the four corners of the earth that are waking up, man, in great boldness, that are standing up for this truth, man. And through the spirit, it's like Elisha, when he had that servant with him, and they were going to war. Something was going on with another nation, and they were coming after Elisha and his servant, and Elisha was trying to encourage him, telling him not to fear, and he said, you know, look around, man. And he prayed up to the Lord, saying, open his eyes that he may see, and he saw all the chariots of Israel around him, man. You know? We're not alone, man. The angels of the Lord are camping around those that fear him, man. The angel of the Lord protects those men that are out on the highways and the byways, man. Ezekiel 37:11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, my people, I will open your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord thy power, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. That's right, we're in our graves right now, man. In this hellhole, this place that they call America, man. The valley of the shadow of death. This is it, man. And shall put my spirit in you, and you shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. That's right, and we're waking up and activating the spirit of our brother, our brothers, the Negro, Latino, and Native American Indians, man. Through the spirit, the word. This is John chapter 6, verse 63. It is a spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. That's right, man. So this is the word that we're supposed to be speaking unto the people, man. Talking about coming out of my own heart. I'm speaking out of the scriptures, man. Precept upon precept. Women are tripped out, man. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. For yourselves, brethren, know our entrance is in unto you, that it was not in vain. That's right, Lord willing, is not in vain. My works towards you brothers, man. Either way, it's going to profit you. You know? But it's where it says, for yourselves, brethren, know our entrance in unto you, that it was not in vain. But even after that we had suffered before, and were shamefully entreated, as you know, at Philippi, we were bold in our power to speak unto you the gospel of Yahweh with much contention, man. With much contention. So it happens. Everybody in this world thinks that, oh, you're supposed to just be agree with one another. No, man, I'm not going to sit here and agree with you. I'm going to show you through the scriptures that you're wrong. And I will agree with you in parts that you are right. Just like I agreed with her when I said, who are those, the valley of dry bones? She said were Israelites. Like, that's correct. I agree with her, but she couldn't agree with me. So it's going to be a contention. Why? Because we can't agree with one another. It says that in Amos, can two walk, at least they be agreed? No, you cannot walk together. You cannot interact with each other if you don't agree. There's going to be contention there. You know? But you're supposed to contend for the faith. It tells you that in the book of Titus. All right. Let me go ahead and bring up that word contention here in the Blue Letter Bible. And Second Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. All right. First Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's see. Look up that word contention. All right. All right. It's the Strong's Concordance is G73, and it says, I'm gonna get to the points. An assembly, real quick. I'm gonna read an assembly, especially an assembly meant to see games. Right, we're not a spectacle unto the world, but amongst men and angels. Right, a place of contest, the arena or stadium. That's right. This is a sanctuary, so we're in our game mode, man. You know, we are in our arena to contest. We're gonna contest, just like Elijah contested with the 300 false prophets of Baal, right? He was mocking and scoffing them. Come on, man. It says the assembly of the Greeks at their national games, hence the contest for a prize at their games. Generally, any struggle or contest, a battle, an action at law, trial. That's right. We were at trial, man. All right. We're gonna say, well, okay, if you had the truth, we're gonna see. If you have the truth, you can say you have the truth. All right, I'm telling you I have the truth. So we're gonna see who has the truth. You know, that's a struggle, man. It's a trial. It's gonna say, okay, we're gonna see who has the truth then, man. You know, these people are bugged out, man. And really, they can't go to battle with us because it has nothing to do about arguing or getting loud. It's about the simple fact that if you ain't gonna listen, I'm gonna rebuke you and send you on your way. You're gonna flee away. Scriptures say rebuke. Basically, how you rebuke before others may fear, but also the Lord rebukes Satan, man. That and said, get behind me. Basically, get away from me, flee from me. All right. So when you rebuke something, you get loud, you cuss it out, man. All right, curse it out. People are bugged out, man. 1 Thessalonians 2:3. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile. That's right. I wasn't coming to her with guile. I was coming with her in the scriptures, trying to break certain things down, coming at her because she was already talking about Christ and all this, and me basically being out here by myself and speaking out into the wind. You know, not knowing that this word is for the elect, and the Spirit of the Lord is not going to return unto him void. You know, she didn't want to hear whenever I started trying to get into teaching her. She didn't want to hear it, man. All right, it says, but as we were allowed of Yahweh to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but Yahweh which trieth the hearts. That's right, man. So the Lord had given us the spirit, and like I made mention, the spirit of prophecy, and the spirit of prophecy was given unto Jeremiah, and Jeremiah was going to be a brazen wall and a pillar unto the people of Judah, all right, and the princes and the priests, man. So what do you think that meant? I mean, he was going to war with them, man. It was going to be to compete. Who had the truth and who didn't? Who was going off and who wasn't going off, man? It says, for our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in the guile, but as we were allowed of Yahweh to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak not as pleasing men, but Yahweh which trieth our hearts. For neither at any time use we flattering words, as you know, nor a cloak of covetousness. Yahweh is witness. That's right. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is my witness that I wasn't coming any way of craftiness or things of that nature. I was coming out of the scriptures, man. Sincerity and truth, ready to edify, ready to teach. And I made mention of that. All right. It says, nor of men sought we glory, neither of you, nor yet of others, when we might have been burdensome as the apostles of Yahushua Mashiach. But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherisheth her children. So being affectionately desirous of you, you were willing to have imparted unto you not the gospel of God only, but also our own souls, because you were dear unto us. That's right. So the ones I'm going to be, affectionate desires towards as a nurse is going to be to the brothers, man. yeah, you know, I'm gonna be apt to teach in meekness to those that come up that may be in been taken in the snare of the devil. Yeah, I'm gonna bear with you, you know, and I'm gonna break down certain things, but not all the time, man. People want to just jump off, man. Act like they know what they're talking about. You can't be acting like that, man. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna go up to the Lord and you're gonna be like, no, this is what. That's what they did to him when he was on the earth, man. Trying to tell him what he could and couldn't teach, what he could and couldn't do. But what happened, man? They put him to death because they didn't like how he rose up and he was speaking with authority, man. They didn't like that. You know? Going back, I'm going to go to 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 2. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that same confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. That's right. Like she thought I was walking according to the flesh. I'm in the world, telling me I'm in the world. Greater as he is in me than he is in the world. I'm out here pushing his word. What are you talking about? I'm in the world. You're going back into the world. When you came up here, you were in the presence of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I'm in the midst of them. You know? As soon as you stepped out, you were already in the world. I'm out here doing what I'm supposed to be doing, man. What are you talking about? These people are bugged out. We're out here to contend for the faith. The Lord told us to do that, man. As I made mention in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'll prove another one. In the book of Jude, verse 3. Beloved, when I gave all diligence and to write unto you as a common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. That's right. So there's no getting around any of that, man. You gotta contend for the faith. I brought out what that word contend means, man. 2018, you already got people bugging up and got bugged out. You know? This is you don't know what we have in store, man. We just know the measuring stick, the measuring time diligently in itself, that we know we're coming into some evil times, man. You know? So we got to contend, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, but they think we're coming in trying to be carnal. No, we're being spiritual men, passionate men, desirous, you know, on fire. You know? It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. That's right. So that's what it is, man. What are you talking about? Here to argue. I ain't here to agree with you either. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here to push this word. You know? Teach, edify, build up. The spirit of prophecy. You know? That's what was commanded to me. That was what was ministered and sanctioned unto me to do. And that's what I'm going to do to the best of my ability. Says, do you look on things after the outer appearance? If any man trust to himself that he is Yahweh Shai Mashiach, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Yahweh Shai Mashiach, even so are we Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You know? And that's what she was doing. She's looking at the outer appearance, not listening to what I was trying to edify and to teach her. This woman was out of her lane, man. You know, these women like to get out of their lanes, man. And if she was a woman of the Lord, she would have known that she can't be acting like that, man. She should have been quiet and listened to what I had to say and moved on her way, instead of trying to condemn me and this, that, and the third. She had no authority. You know, these Christian people, man. These Christian people are bugged out, man. All right. So it says, for though I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which the Lord hath given us for edification. That's right. So our authority, the Lord gave us authority. Why? Because to edify, to building up of the brotherhood, man. That's it. You know, spirit of prophecy, man. This is what it is. Romans 15:1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. Let every one of us please his neighbor for its good to edification. That's right. So we have to please ourselves to edification, man. But at that, we have to have authority. It's like Jeremiah was given the authority, the spirit, all right, the laying of hands of prophecy. Just like it's in Timothy's that I brought out, we're talking about it's lucky. Let me go ahead and get it just so I won't mess it up. This is 1 Timothy 4 and 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word and conversation and charity and spirit and faith and purity. Till I come, give attendance to reading, exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by the prophecy, with the laying on the hands of the presbytery. That's right, man. So going back to 2 Corinthians 10 and 8. For though I should boast somewhat of more of our authority, which the Lord hath given us for edification, and not for your destruction, I should not be ashamed. That's right. I'm not ashamed, man. You know, the Lord, the scriptures say, open rebuke is better than secret love, man. So she don't even know that I was showing her love, you know. But she took it as me wanting to be a man that's in the world, that Satan's dealing with, whatever, you know, what the fuck she was thinking about in her bugged out mind, you know. But really, I was trying to draw her back in, to correct her, humble her, you know. She would have got a rebuke. She would have came back and be like, hey, you know what, I'm sorry. Let me hear what you have to say. I apologize. No, she didn't. She left, went on her way, and was probably going out there talking shit about me, you know, which is nothing new, you know what I'm saying? But that's what happens, man. Some people, they hate correction. They hate to be rebuked. They hate the spirit of prophecy. And this is the way the Lord came. This is the way the Lord it comes, man. You know, not every single time, every day, the Lord dealt with the people, man. He dealt with them, and some He didn't deal with. You know, it all depends on what was going on in the spirit, man. You know, if people want to take it on a whole different level and whatever, and start standing the third. No, man, you just need to humble yourself and be quiet and listen to what I'm trying to to tell you. The Lord said he didn't come to be ministered unto, but to minister. You see? People are just bugged out of their minds, man. Go ahead and keep reading in Romans 15:3. For even Yahweh Shai Mashiach pleased not himself, but as it was written, the reproach of them that reproached thee fell on me. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through much patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. That's right. So we get our hope and our patience through obeying Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know? And we everything that was written for our learning. Okay? So everything that I bring out of the scriptures is because that's what the Lord said to do. Precept upon precept. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. Not to be partial in the scriptures. Alright? Because that's how the Pharisees and the scribes were. They were partial in the scriptures. They omitted the weightier matters of the law. They exempt judgment, mercy. All they were worried about is tithes and being good and loving each other, being admonished or acknowledged in the street markets, lifted up as being glorified. The true men of the Lord are not that way, man. We're balanced in every single area. We speak about mercy, faith, rebuke. If you're out of line, we're gonna rebuke you, man. I'm gonna rebuke you. I'm gonna get on you. Not physically, but through the spirit, man. I'm good, man. I appreciate it. Keep it for yourself. Keep yourself warm, man.
I got 2 hoodies and a blanket. I don't know
that's
small.
That's good, man. I got my own things, man. I appreciate it, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Keep yourself warm, man. But as I was saying, man, like the Pharisees and the scribes, that's what they do. And that's what they like to tell us, that we're, as the modern day Pharisees and the scribes, we ain't no Pharisees and scribes, man. We're coming out here in a different, complete spirit than the Pharisees. The Pharisees are a bunch of hypocrites, man. All right. This is Matthew 23:23. Woe unto the scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint, anise, and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These are ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. That's right. Because the man of the Lord is not gonna be ignorant of small or great matter, man. He's gonna properly discern between good and evil. And this woman was coming up like that, man, trying to minister. And when I try to, take control, She showed forth that attitude where she didn't like it, man. You know, and that's what you got to do certain things in order to see these people's actions, man. Because not most, but a person that's have patience and of understanding, they'll be like, oh, okay, my bad, man. Go ahead and tell me what it was. They're gonna wait their turn because they know how to communicate with one another, whether they agreed or not. But they know how to fall back and know their lane and not get offended. You know, she tried to come and minister, man. You ain't no minister. You women have no authority speaking the word, man. You have no authority speaking the word. You have to learn in silence, man. All right? That's what the scriptures say. Okay? This is 1 Timothy 2:11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach nor assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. There's no other way. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't silent. She was a stubborn woman, all right? That was a simple woman that knoweth nothing, but is loud, man, you know? Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Can't get around it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. What? Came the word of Yahweh out from you? Or came it unto you only? If a man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that these things I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord Yahweh Shai. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. That's right. So, you people are ignorant, man. The word ignorant goes back to the word ignore. You ignore y'all's lanes, man. Like women that have no authority to be speaking in the churches. 1 Corinthians, y'all people worship Paul, believe in Paul. Paul even said, the women shall not teach nor assert authority over a man in the churches, man. Okay? But they allow that here in America. All right? So, hey, I hope with that, brothers, you know, it was edifying, you know. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work of sincerity and truth. All right. Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. All right. Shalom.